Hi, my name's David, and we are playing tonight a game of Fight with Spirit. This is our second session, or our first session of actual play, after our sort of character creation and general discussion of things last time. Fight with Spirit is a game of school sports drama. It is by Story Brewers Games, creators of Good Society, and this game follows sort of in the footsteps of Good Society, though with some additional mechanics around playing or representing a sports match, I should say. As we discussed last time, this is a game that is much more focused on emulating the drama and struggles of a sports team rather than kind of moment to moment sports action. This game is arranged through the Gauntlet, which is an online role-playing group. We get together, play games like this one, which we arrange through an online calendar. You can find information about that, as well as the podcasts and we have a gaming magazine as well called Codex, a couple of published games as well. You can find information on all that stuff at gauntlet-rpg.com. I'll put a link to that and more information about this game in particular in the link down below. As a quick recap on sort of where we were last time and where we're going to be going today, our game is we are basing it off the quick start materials. We had a couple of little tweaks. We're playing in St. Osana's School for Boys, a boarding school in the north of England. It is the 1920s, about 1922, I think I arbitrarily picked. And that's kind of the vibe we're going for with this, that sort of setting and time frame stuff. So we got our characters sorted out last time. Today, this game, like Good Society, is played in phases. So we have. In fact, I'll go quickly through sort of the general structure of play. It's slightly different in the sort of first game, but we start off with our opening credit scene, which we did at the end of last session. There's a daily life scenes, which we won't be doing today. That's sort of we skip that in the first match. We then go into the event section, which is where something is happening that everyone can be kind of involved in and get stuff in. We have then a match section. We'll probably start the first part of the match section today, which is to do some just quick introductory scenes before the match begins, where you may meet up with your rivals and so on and so forth. We will be picking up with our match next week because it's the first one we've played, so I envisage it taking a little bit longer for us to get through, and as well as being one of our players down today. So that's kind of what my intentions are to get through today, is, like I said, to do that event section and probably start on the pre-match scenes as well. We will see how that takes us. We may end up finishing a bit early today if we kind of reach that point. I won't press on today because this is where we are a player down. And I also don't want to sort of break off partway through the match, because I think it would be better to do that in one sitting. Or obviously, if one gets really into the event scenes and so on and so forth, we may take up the whole of our evening anyway. We will see how that goes and play it by ear. But before we leap into things, we'll just go around and do quick introductions. If you would like to introduce yourself, tell us about who you're playing, tell us a little bit about them, and then we will jump into things. Maria, I'll start with you, and we'll go in character keeper order, if that's okay.
Sure. Hello, I'm Maria. I use she, her pronouns. I will be playing Lawrence Gregory, or Laws. Main thing about Lawrence is that he has an identical twin brother, and he loves jazz and also cricket, but cricket is complicated by the fact that Lawrence is a person who's easily infatuated with people, and sometimes those crushes can be distracting, and so Lawrence quit the team. Yeah, I think now he's back, partially because his twin brother is also back, and that the fact that he quit the team is probably part of the reason why the twin brother was brought back. So he can't just ignore the sacrifices that Lewis is making. Let's see. And yeah, he's very much in love with the current team captain, who is not here today, but is a little bit, maybe a little bit jealous of a person, Valentine, because Valentine gets to spend all that time with the team captain. Or wait, Lewis. Multiple people spend time with the team captain that aren't Lawrence, and it's very frustrating.
Sorry, I was muted there. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah, Brandon, if you'd like to introduce us to Lewis.
Yes, hello. I'm Brandon, and I'm playing Lewis Gregory, who is, as Maria has just said, Lawrence's identical twin. Lewis was in upper school here, was sent to Shipton Academy. Their parents deliberately decided to put their eggs in two different baskets for various and sundry reasons. But I asked to come back to St. Osana's in order to be with Lawrence and to get him to play again. And to realize his potential both on and off the pitch in the general scheme of things. Lawrence and I have rituals that we do before an exam or a match. We swap a piece of clothing. Our times of pretending to be one another are largely past, but the temptation still does occasionally rear its head. Because even though our personalities are rather different, we still look very, very much the same. And I think that Lawrence is the best player on this team, if he would apply himself, and that he in fact could go on to play. And it would allow him, the opportunity to indulge his hobby and such like that, which he'll never make a living at, but he could as a player. And so I've arranged via a contact back when I was at Shipton for a recruiter to come and see him play at some point. The other thing about Lewis is that he is a pianist. He loves the piano. Mostly he has been channeled into playing classical music by his teacher, but he loves pop music as well. And jazz is still terra incognita for him, but he is curious about it. It seems so kind of wild and unstructured, and he's really not sure how he feels about that. He's got a very strong sports ethic. He's a good, solid player, mostly through dint of enthusiasm and effort, rather than the raw talent. Laws scores higher in that regard.
Brilliant, thank you very much. And yeah, Anders, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about who you'll be playing tonight.
Yeah, I'm Anders. I use he, him. I am playing Valentine Roberts, also he, him. He is in the upper sixth, so he's in his last year at the school. He's a hothead, often getting into trouble, and he's currently in trouble with his old childhood friend and neighbor, who insulted the team, and Valentine will not stand for that. Yeah, his older brother, who is a veteran of the war, is the coach, but he's not playing any favorites, not when it comes to Valentine, at least. Yeah, that's about it. He loves to dance when he's not playing cricket.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Yeah, so as mentioned, tonight we will be playing our event scene. And yeah, I think as we kind of discussed towards the end of last session, I think the event that we will be kicking off with is there is a summer fete down in the village of Hades. There will be, refreshments and music and dancing and all sorts of general, rural entertainments going on. So I think that's and obviously the pupils from the school are allowed to attend this particular event. So you will be able to be down there in a legitimate capacity rather than having to sneak out for this one. But yeah, so that's, I think, the event that we're going to kick off with. So I'll just explain the event scene or the event phase quickly before we jump into it. Again, if you're familiar with Good Society, it should be, this sort of section should be fairly familiar. We will essentially just have some time to have various scenes between the characters with some of your connections, anything else that you want to do. All of it sort of taking place in the context, that's what I was looking for, of the fate that's going on of this event. Though we don't have to play out the event fully. We don't have to explore everything. Generally speaking, you say that most people most connections and the like can have the potential to be here if you want to have a scene with them. But if we also don't have to include everyone here. It's and this section, like I said, is largely driven by what scenes you would like to see play out, or I would like to see play out in this section as well. So that's sort of what we'll be doing in a second. So I'll give you all a moment to think over what you think you might like to get up to. We will then sort of just go around between ourselves, play out scenes, and essentially do that for as long as we feel like, until we feel like we've reached kind of we've mined the depths of what we can achieve today. I will also explain briefly a couple of the token mechanics that we have in play here. I think I did touch on these briefly last time, but I'll just go over them again as we get into sort of actual play. Everyone has a setback token. I have two. But what you can do is at any point, you can make an offer to another character to have something go kind of wrong for them or something to go against them. The sort of the general guidelines on this is that the setback that you offer, the complication that you offer, it has to be kind of meaningful in the context of the story. So, for instance, like you can't spend a setback token and just say, "Oh, your shoelace is untied," but you could potentially spend a setback token to have their shoelace be untied and for them to trip and fall on their face while they're supposed to be going up and receiving the trophy from the mayor, or something like that. The setbacks that you offer as well don't necessarily have to be end like in tragedy or anything like that. They don't have to be like super serious, but they do have to, like I said, have an impact and have some significance. They can be tied specifically to the player's drives, but again, they need not be. It can be anything that you kind of want to complicate. And generally speaking, this can be a complication that you create either as your main character or as the connection you're playing, or just like random happenstance in the world. Any of those is cool. When a setback token is offered, the player who has been offered that setback has a couple of different choices. They can either accept the token and just say, yeah, that thing you said happens, and then we deal with the consequences of that. they can accept the token with conditions. So they can say, yes, I this can happen, but but only if it's, so maybe if it's, yeah, I will accept the token to trip in front of the mayor, but rather than falling flat on my face on the stage, I trip over and bump into the priest or something like that. The third option you have is just to refuse it. If it's just not something you're interested in happening, you can just say, no, I'm not interested in doing that. And that is perfectly fine. If you do accept the token, either with or without conditions, then obviously the player offering it, spends that token, and you will get a fight token. Fight tokens have two different uses. Fight tokens can be used in kind of free scenes, like I think in things like the event scenes and stuff like that. You can spend a fight token to basically achieve something that would be difficult, or again, usually something that's difficult but has some impact on the story. It doesn't need to be done for incidental things, or to have your character get sort of a lucky break or something else like that. The other thing that they are used for is when we get into the match proper, you can essentially use fight tokens to buy up the outcomes of the cards you draw. So they can be useful in that sense as well. The last thing we have to consider is your drives and spirit. So your spirit, you will all start off with one spirit token. These again can be used, these ones can be used only in matches, and they are essentially used, it might vary a bit depending on what game you're playing, though we'll get to that later, but I believe generally speaking you can spend these spirit tokens to draw additional cards when you are resolving an action in a match. So again, increasing your chances of succeeding at whatever you're doing. They're a little bit rarer, obviously. The only way that you can get spirit tokens is when you resolve one of your drives from one of your starting traits. So these are the little bits of blue text in your under your traits. So, for instance, to take the example of Stephen's character Aidan, his drives are to heal divisions within the team, or pull rank and put your foot down, or to commit to what you will be doing next year. Whenever you feel like you have fulfilled one of your drives, feel free to say, I think that I've done this. You will gain a spirit token. The other thing that will happen is that the other thing that would happen is on the team sheet, there will be kind of a little line of tick boxes for essentially advances that the team earns as you kind of, or fulfill your drives and stuff. Though for the purposes of this quick start, there is only one reward, and you get that when somebody earns their first point of spirit. So it's kind of that side of it is less relevant to this particular run. That is sort of, so those are kind of the economies that we'll be playing with here. So as I say, those are essentially what we want to be looking out for when we get into these scenes, is opportunities to offer setbacks, cause complications for each other, and deal with the outcomes of those, to build up your fight token pool, and also to build up your work towards fulfilling your drives, and unlock your spirit that way. Again, with drives as well, that's purely something for you to judge. If you feel like you have resolved it, then you have, that's fine. It's there's no mechanical requirements around that. Obviously make it as difficult for yourselves as you wish, but that's that's sort of open to us all. Cool. So I hope that gives everyone a vague idea of what we'll be doing in this. Again, for those who have played Good Society before, your connections don't gain like a separate pool of setback tokens in this. It's just done purely on a player by player basis. Awesome. So I think that's everything. So I will just set the scene briefly. So it's a kind of one of those days. There's some clouds in the sky, but it's relatively sunny. There's a little bit of a breeze. There's a few kind of just like white pavilion tents set up on the village green in the town of Hades. There is, as I said, there's some music being played by a brass band from one of the local mills. There's various kind of country dances being arranged as well. There's probably not an actual maypole, but there is sort of some country dancing going on. There's big urns of tea being served, homemade cakes set out, and a few kind of simple games like skittles and hoopla, tossing hoops over sticks and all that sort of thing. It's attended quite well by people in town, and as I said, the pupils of Saint Osana's have been given permission to come down as well for the day. I am sorry, I lost my train of thought. I think I'm going to ask a paint the scene question here. So what's one thing we see here that that shows kind of the how the sort of the locals in particular are enjoying this event, and that this is kind of a highlight of the sort of the summer months. So that's a little vague question, I'm afraid, but I will let you come up with whatever you like on that basis. Maria, I'll come to you first, if that's okay again.
Sure. I think like there's maybe like food stalls and maybe a sign that people are taking advantage of this particular day being not too rainy and people are generally in a better mood is that there's like a gaggle of like youths who are not quite old enough for school yet, but they're like village children and they're like running around the bread stand, and whoever is running the bread stand is just like half-heartedly waving a baguette at them while like not particularly seeming too concerned that they might cause any trouble. So there's just like kids running around everywhere and everyone's like, it's fine, we'll let them have fun.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, and Brandon, how about you?
What kind of thing do you want me to contribute?
Anything, like I said, any sign of the kind of that shows people are kind of enjoying themselves and letting loose for the day, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I think the most the most popular thing is a shaved ice vendor that's there, who has an improbable number of different flavors. There's probably not that many flavors; they're just different colors, but they nevertheless have names on it, and so so lots of people have shaved ice, and there's been the requisite number of accidents with brightly colored syrupy confections on clothing and what have you, and good-natured scuffles that result therefrom.
Awesome, lovely. Thank you very much. Yeah, and Anders, how about yourself?
I think even the people who are usually very serious and very dignified are a bit in a bit lighter mood. They're taking part in the games and strolling around, talking to people, and you can tell that everyone's in a better mood than usual.
Awesome, thank
Even
you.
some of the masters, perhaps.
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
maybe even that.
I was just imagining the headmaster having like a little bit of cotton fluff on like the edge of a mustache or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think Miss Thompson actually has is wearing her hair down, which is not something you see at school.
Yeah, and a few.
Yeah, which is and it's eye catching.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, and I think a few of the a few of said a few of the masters are down here, and they are all, because this is like a town event. They're all wearing their full formal, like long black gowns and mortarboards and the like. But even so, they're still obviously said taking this on with a bit more of a light-hearted approach than they might otherwise. Awesome. So, with all that said and done, does anyone have any thoughts on a scene that they would like to frame with a specific character, or if we want to start off with a more general scene, just with the three of you sort of coming down from the school or something like that? But yeah, whatever people fancy, really.
I'd be interested in a scene with all of us, or like I can imagine Lawrence being very excited by all of the shaved ice and the flavors, so would be dragging at least Lewis, if not also Valentine, to go get some sweets, because they don't have shaved ice at school.
Absolutely. I think it'd be interesting. Let's see, Stephen's not here. Yeah, I mean, certainly the scene between the twins, talking about current events. That works with me. But if you want something that's a little more troubled, then perhaps when Lewis has gone off to get something, Penwick Kingsley shows up and troubles Lawrence. Him and his, perhaps with allies, comes and gives Lawrence a difficult time.
Yeah, that could be cool. We'll keep that later. But yeah, no, I think we'll start off with that scene with just the three of you sort of like starting off and going for some ices while just give you all a chance to kind of get into character, as it were. So yeah, I think there's one of these little kind of carts with shaved ice, almost certainly run by an Italian gentleman who will greet you with a smile and say, "Good afternoon, boys. What can I get for you today?"
One of each, or at least one of 3 of the flavors. You'll pay for this, right, Lewis?
Yes, I'll pay for it, for goodness sake.
Well, thank you, my dearest elder brother.
Roman has to be the responsible one. Go on, pick your favorite. That's all right. I know what it's going to be.
The strawberry one. I think that's what the red one is, right?
Yeah, well, that one's
Certainly
strawberry
is.
and that one's cherry. but you like strawberry better, so let's have it be strawberry.
Right. And which one's your favorite color, Valentine? Valentine?
I don't know. Is the chocolate? Chocolate is good.
A good dark coller in case
It's
you
not-
need to
It's
spill it
not,
on something.
it's not good. They're still working that out. If you like chocolate, get you. Well, I'm sure that someplace around here has candy bars.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. I'll have that.
But it's summer. The chocolate will melt over everything. If it's a candy bar, but if it's an ice, then it won't.
Yeah, but ice melts, you know.
Only if you don't eat it fast
Yes,
enough.
fine. It's fine. A chalk ice, please. And I'll have lemon as always.
Of course. And yeah, he'll kind of attend to the orders. We give you a couple of paper cones of lemon and strawberry ice and a choc ice for Valentine.
To say it's Osana's, I say holding my ice up in the manner of a toast.
Lawrence has already taken like a bite of it out, but we'll hold it up anyway because Lawrence is a monster who bites into ice. Summer fetes are always the highlight of my life. Honestly, I think they should have shaved ice every day.
It would be nice. But then what would we have to look forward to?
Something better?
Hard to imagine anything better.
Well, at any rate, you'd think the masters would realize that we're much better people when we are pleased by sugar and cold, and would try to sustain that sort of morale.
Yes, they're trying to make us better people using other more coercive techniques, I think. Is that what you need, boss? Just need a shaved ice a day in order to live up to your potential?
Well, I need more sunny days, and I don't know if today counts for that particularly.
It is sunny. This is brilliantly sunny.
There are clouds.
Note to viewers, we are English. If we were Spanish, this would be a kind of dismal gray day, but we're not. So this is actually very nice. I'm glad you've come back to the pitch. Moss.
Well, how could I not? You came back.
Didn't for a while.
Well, now that you're here to be a spy, which I'm sure is what the parents decided when they agreed to let you come back, I should give them something good to talk about.
I'm not informing on you for the love of money, not even for mom and dad.
Well, it's not like I don't need you to be here. You don't have to come back.
I did, actually. I mean, I didn't, but I did.
The team was doing perfectly fine without me.
Yes,
Right?
but you weren't perfectly fine without the team. Look, Laws. You're a better player than I am. You really are. But you don't work at it. And that's kind of a shame. I mean,
Lawrence is like looking everywhere around the whole festival area.
he's not here.
I'm not looking for anyone. I'm just looking away from you. And
Am I so uncomely to look at? Ugh, I only have the face that nature gave me.
and me, but I'm not used to my face holding so much seriousness.
Well, all right, let's talk about something that isn't serious. Pick.
Uh,
Miss
Did you
Thompson
see-
has her hair down.
of course, you noticed that.
I do spend an hour most days under her tutelage. So yes, I does. I think everyone here notices. For it, it certainly disproves the idea that that her bun clips on.
Yeah, and I'm sure you wish you were under more than just her tutelage, right?
Is that why you enjoy the piano lessons so much?
Stop it.
You never said.
She's old.
Not that old. She can't be what? How old do you think she is, Valentine? 4 years? 3 years older?
She's a master. She's old. She had a career, but she was a dancer.
Ooh, dancer. Dancer.
She teaches dance. Makes sense.
Their careers don't last very long, though, don't they?
Well, no,
They
I mean
start
she's not.
young, and
She's
then
not. She's not like Mr. Ogilvy. Okay, she's not. Walking corpse. But at any rate, I didn't come back here to make eyes at her, or whatever it is that you have on mind.
well,
She is really pretty. I mean, it's hard not to notice that. And Lewis is blushing a little bit.
suppose there's a little bit of aesthetic. There is a little bit of artistry to the way she looks. I don't know, though. I could never fall for a master, no matter how young they were.
You never know. Besides, love is a serious topic, and didn't you say you wanted not to talk about that?
Well, not my love, just yours.
Oh, I see. Mine is light and fluffy. Yours is serious.
And you, Valentine?
Yes. Do you love
have a
anyone?
love?
Are you mad for anyone?
Me?
Yes.
You know me, I'm a free
Besides-
agent.
Oh, yeah. So in other words, just yourself. Look in
You
the
and
mirror
the
and
cricket pitch?
you kiss the mirror every morning.
Disgusting. How many other boys have kissed that mirror?
I mean, who can resist a face like this? Not even me.
Well, I
You notice it's
heard.
phrased as a question rather than a statement.
Well, I heard there are a certain number of people who'd like to put some blemishes on that face of yours.
That's
Yeah, but nobody who counts.
doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to know that.
They're just jealous.
Oh my God. Freddie's here. You see over there, down there by the darts?
Yeah, that's a whole bunch of Hades guys.
Well, Freddie's shifting, but yeah.
Doesn't matter, they're all not Osana's. Should we?
Yeah, we shouldn't let them ruin this nice day. I mean, I'm sure we can find something fun to do without letting them get in our way.
Or we could give them a taste of what they have coming for them on the pitch. Darts is a competitive game, isn't it?
Well, that one there where you're just trying to burst balloons, I think is it's just to win prizes. But
Well, we could win more prizes than them.
all right, if you want.
Let me finish
Let-
the strawberry ice.
Let's do it for Saint Osana's. Yes.
Osana,
Leads the charge.
Yeah, and I think you'll see you'll see Freddie there with a few of his friends, and as you kind of head over, he will kind of raise his hand in a wave to you, Lewis.
Yep.
And he'll
Go
say, "Watcher Gregory, how's it going? We've missed you. We've missed you in the lineup. I've got to say, but well, we're still doing pretty all right for ourselves. You've still got your semi-finals to play, don't you?"
We do, yeah, Preston. Good to see you too. But we've got our number one batsman back, so we may just turn the tables on anyone who thinks we're has-beens. I'm sure that you didn't have any trouble replacing me as a bowler. Just find somebody with more guts than brains.
We brought in Prestwick. He's not bad, not quite up to your level, but pulls his weight.
Yeah. I wish I know it was kind of messed things up when I left, but well, I told you I had to make a decision.
And I think with that, he will turn his attention to Lawrence and say, "So you're the famous brother, eh?"
Famous.
What gave it away? I see.
Well, the chances of two two poor bastards being cast with an ugly mug is far too low for you not to be related.
Oh, well, maybe we're triplets and this is someone else.
So what exactly have you heard about me that
Oh,
you
I'm
would
sorry.
say famous?
Laws, this is Freddie Preston. We were mates back at ship.
And you're on the team too?
Yes,
assume.
yes.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, Freddie's a solid batsman and a superb fielder. Really one of the best.
I've certainly caught my share of balls over time.
You could Freddie could would be a good sprinter if he turned his talents that way. Seldom seen so many people so quick off the mark. So don't hit it at him.
It's only if you expect that I can't return as good, or I can't give as good as we'll get. I think if he's as good as you say he is, then it'll be
Well, he's good. He's good.
interesting.
But of course, when you when you hit for 6, he won't have a chance to catch it.
Naturally.
It's the best way to avoid not let him contribute. I say, smiling.
And yeah, I think Preston will kind of grin and say, well, if he's all that you say he is, I half hope that you do manage to give Hades Grammar a good thrashing. It'll be interesting to see you in action.
You'll hear the wailing and weeping in the Lamentations women. Presuming there are any.
Well, that's
Orpheus will come back without Eurydice.
certainly sounds like you've got the spirit for it anyway.
You know me, more enthusiasm than talent.
Well, that's let's see how it goes. Eh?
The yeah, we should chat sometime, Freddie. Talk about old times.
Of course, old chap. We'll have to, yeah, as you say, have a bit of a get together at some point.
Yeah. What with the having to pack up and go and being sent back to St. Osana's, it just seemed like there never really was much of a chance to settle things. I don't know. Is that the right word?
I suppose these things happen, don't they? But well, let's. He'll kind of get Lawrence up and down again. Let's see if the change was worth it.
Oh, I say, looking at Lawrence, I say, be afraid, be very afraid.
I can't say as I'm exactly trembling in my boots at the minute, but maybe you'll be able to persuade me elsewise.
I think that as this trash talking is happening, Lawrence is going to grab a whole bunch of darts and like trash talk back to, I don't know how to actually trash talk. I'm very bad at it. And say something like, well, maybe I can show you some of the skill you've heard about, and challenge Preston to a darts duel.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds awesome. And yeah, he'll say, well, I've darts isn't exactly my game, but I'm sure that I can put in a good showing for myself. He'll grin and take take a position with ready to begin. And yeah, I think this is an appropriate point. I will offer you a. I think I will offer you here a setback token if he beats you quite handily in this.
I think I will accept that setback. Trying to think if I want to say yes, but I can't think of. Yeah, I'll just take the setback, and he can thrash me at darts. It'll be very humiliating.
So you get a fight. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and yes, I think that the way this looks is you kind of, and I think it's one of those things where there's word will quickly spread, and several other kids will kind of gather around. And yeah, it turns out that yeah, he was absolutely absolutely hustling, and he is clearly very, very good at darts.
You just see, yeah, Lauren just starts like visibly deflating, like shoulders start to slump, and the darts just keep getting further and further from the center.
And I think as he kind of takes a little bow before several of his applauding schoolmates, he will he'll just walk back up to he will offer his hand to you to shake Lawrence.
Lawrence takes his hands out of the pockets from which they immediately went after the last dart was thrown, and reluctantly shakes Preston's hand and says, good show, but maybe this wasn't my day.
Indeed. Maybe you will be able to impress me yet. And he'll kind of grin, but then as he's walking away, he will just slap Lewis on the shoulder and just lean in and say, well, old boy, they still haven't filled your old bunk quite yet, so maybe there's still time for you to come back to a winning team.
Darts ain't cricket.
Well, I can't argue with that. He'll sort of grin again, and
you sly bastard.
And he'll grin and sort of head up with a few of his.
I thought I did very well by. I basically say I thought I did very well by keeping mum. But laws pick the game. Anyway, good show. And after we spank Hades, and you can give me your opinion once again.
I look forward to it.
Cheers.
Yeah, and yeah, as I said, he and his friends will kind of wander off to investigate some more stalls and the like. And I think we'll take a quick break there if we want to come back at 1:45, and then we'll see what else we want to get up to. See you in a few. Awesome. Yeah. So, the other thing as well, I didn't explicitly call out, but as well, if you want to initiate a scene with another character or other characters with the connection that you are playing as well, that is also absolutely fine. You don't need to wait to be invited to do that, as it were, if you have an idea of something you want to throw into the mix. But yeah, I will check in with you, Valentine. Is there a scene that you would like to see?
Not sure really. Would be fun to run into Lionel, perhaps. But it's not super important. I'm a bit unfocused today, so I'm not.
No worries, not a problem.
Not too particular.
But
Or
yeah,
maybe
sorry.
talk to his brother for a bit. Could also be interesting.
Yeah. I
don't remember. Did we settle on whose position it is he wants? Because he has a rivalry with one of the other
Valentine.
characters.
Yeah, I think that was with Lawrence, if
Yes.
memory serves.
Yeah, because that's because it's in Lawrence's character there.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. No, that's cool. If you're up for bringing Lionel onto the scene, Brandon, I think that
Absolutely
could be interesting to see how that develops. And I may, depending on how this goes, I may throw Tim into the mix shortly.
Sure. So is Valentine by himself when Lionel engages?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think he's drifted away from the Dart game, just looking at everything that's going on. And he's not far away, but
yeah,
I mean, there's a crowd.
Hey, Robert.
Oh, hey there, Lionel.
Ready to get thrashed on Sunday? Probably not Sunday.
No, why should I be?
Because you're going to get 6 of the best.
Yeah,
crawl,
I don't know. I
crawl
thought
back
we were
into
paying you.
That's why.
Oh, really?
We're having a heck of a season, much better than yours.
Well, that's about to change.
Oh, really? But it's what bolt of lightning is going to do that?
Yeah, wouldn't you like to know?
Oh! You've got a big saying the sun has got a big secret, eh?
Yeah.
Well, you've kept it really well up to this time, I have to say.
Yeah, well, we wanted to bring it out for a special occasion, and taking you down a peg seems like just the right time.
I can't wait. So what'll it be? Off-weighted ball, word into the right word into the ear of the of one of the umpires.
Oh no, no! Now you're thinking about your tactics.
We don't need any tactics to take you to the cleaners.
Yeah, that's fortunate for you since you don't seem to have any.
I'm going to offer you a setback to make you lose your temper.
Yeah, that's
Because it's
I'll take that.
there's some audience here. You know, some other people at Hades and some of the other schools.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, so I think this starts out the way we
and it's like, oh
we're
yes,
playing
yo,
it, but
is your big secret Gregory Minor, the one who quit, had to be cajoled back on the team? I don't know about you, but we don't like quitters over here at Hades.
yeah, if
Yeah.
there's something we're not, it's quitters.
Oh, you've got one on your team.
It's not a quitter when he plays with us. You should know that.
He did. He was. And once a quitter, always a quitter. What I hear is he's lost his edge. And if you put him in the line, high in the lineup, you'll just be embarrassing yourself. But then you're used to that, so I suppose it's no big deal.
Oh, you talk a big game, but once we're on the pitch, you'll see.
What? We'll see what? How badly you can lose? Try to keep it into single. Try to keep it in single digits, old man.
Yeah, I think this is when Valentine steps up to him, like a bit too close, and yeah, he's not really finding a good comeback, so he's just looking angry.
Does he push him?
Not quite there yet.
Okay.
But,
It's like a back off, old boy. Your breath could wilt grass.
Yeah, that's when he pushes it.
Oh, that's how it is, huh? The can't win on the pitch, so so you've got to get nasty.
And all you can do is talk.
Oh, I can do a lot more.
Talk.
Oh, I can do a lot more than talk.
Oh yeah, show me.
Yeah, he starts to roll up his sleeves.
Yeah, this is going to be a fight.
Yeah, and
Unless someone intervenes.
Not after a couple of punches are thrown.
Yeah, and I think after once the
scrambling about on the ground. There was somebody. They both. I think they both go over and are like kind of scrambling on the ground, throwing, connecting, but not particularly doing huge amounts of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the students have. You've acquired quite an audience who are going fight.
Yeah, and I think it's at that moment when a quite tall, broad-shouldered figure pushes their way through the throng of kids around and grabs Valentine by the collar, essentially, and Timothy says, oh, "For God's sake, Val, not again!" And is going to sort of start dragging you away from the fight.
Yeah, but Valentine is completely set on continuing to fight, but he's no match for his older brother.
Lucky rescue.
Yeah, that's what you leave.
Robert's old chap. Oh yeah. Try it. I hope you try it again. You'll get and get sent off. Serve you right. He says, wiping his, rubbing the spot on his shoulder where you connected pretty hard.
Yeah, and I think Tim will kind of drag you behind like one of the refreshment tents sort of thing, and says, Val, you can't keep getting in trouble like this. You're lucky it was me that came across that, not one of the masters. And he kind of remembers and says, one of the other masters. I can't cover for you all the time.
He was insulting our team. He was talking trash about my teammates. I can't. Am I supposed to just put up with it?
Well, you're certainly not supposed to be brawling out there on the village green like a couple of thugs. Look, I know that you're I know that you care a lot for the team and all that, but it'll do you no good if you end up getting sent down for fighting again.
Yeah, but what am I supposed to do then? Just let him walk all over me?
No, of course not. Just try not to lose your temper so often, Valentine. Try and keep a lid on it. And certainly when you're out somewhere like this where everyone can see. And he'll kind of then, he will give you a kind of more affectionate kind of pat on the shoulder and say, look, I know it's hard, but you've not got much longer left to go. Just don't foul it up at the last hurdle.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's was being just get so angry.
I know. I used to be the same. You'll grow out of it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Everyone keeps talking about how I'll grow out of this and grow into that, and just I don't know what I'll do after school after this year, but yeah, I don't know.
You'll have time, and I'm sure you'll work something out. You're and I'll always be here to look out for you anyway.
Yeah. Thanks. It's good to know.
Well, he'll pull out a handkerchief and hand it to you. Try and get yourself looking at least halfway presentable. I'm going to head back and go and grab myself a drink, but just try and stay out of trouble, okay?
Yeah, Yeah, I'll try, not making any promises, but at least saying that jokingly.
And I think he will mess up your hair unnecessarily, and then head off.
Yeah, and Valentine will very superficially wipe himself down with a handkerchief and then go looking for some of his schoolmates, preferably someone on the team, to brag about how he trashed the Lionel.
Awesome. Cool. I think did someone else have in mind an idea for a scene they wanted to set up? I have a couple of thoughts of my own as well, but I'll give other people an opportunity first. Cool. So I think Lawrence, I think at one point you're wandering around the fate, but probably on your own at the moment. What do you think you're doing, or are you just sort of generally wandering?
What am I doing? I think I needed to walk off the humiliation of publicly being defeated so badly by one of the Shipton boys. So I am slouching by I'm slouching by one of the other games that there's around. Maybe for some reason I'm imagining the carnival game where you have the thing that you hit really hard with a hammer and it goes boing. Yeah, so I'm just slouching behind it, kind of leaning against a fence and not even participating in it, just judging everyone who tries it.
Yeah, and I think you hear the ding of the bell, and some cheering as lad you probably recognize as Dominic May, the captain of the Hades team, sort of puts the mallet down, and sort of wanders over and sort of notices you leaning against a wall, and kind of heads over in your direction. He says, "You're on the St. Osana's cricket team, aren't you?"
Yeah. And you're one of the Hades.
Yeah, that's it. Looking forward to the match. You've not seen Chambers around, have you?
No. Haven't seen him. Possibly working too hard somewhere.
Yeah, I thought he might be here today. I was looking forward to meeting up with him.
What sort of business do you have with our team captain?
Oh, I mean, rivalries aside, we've always been good mates. I just wanted to catch up. And the kind of the twinkle in his eye is quite obvious to you, I think.
Are you? Huh. Catch up. You. saw you on a run by, I'm trying to remember what our like opening scene vignette was, where I think Aiden was distracted by them running by or something.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been good friends with the captain enough that you're looking for him here?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it's been a year or two now.
And is this a sort of friendly rivalry?
Yeah,
Don't mind me. I'm just asking these questions because I care really strongly about our captain. He's new to being a captain, you know. I want there to be any
I know.
distraction.
I've given him a few pointers. It's and yeah, that's it. I'd say it's definitely a friendly rivalry. I'm yeah, I'm not trying to nobble him or anything, if that's what you're worried about.
Okay, that's like British slang that I don't know.
Like sabotage, essentially.
Okay. I was like, what does this mean?
Yeah. Usually, it's usually applied to horses.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a race, this is somebody tampering.
Oh,
with
I
them.
heard novel instead of hobble. And I was like,
It is noble, but
It
yeah,
is
no,
noble.
oh, it is novel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
To tamper with.
Okay. Oh boy, learning things. Yeah,
Basically.
Lawrence, just I think there's like some sort of like almost calculating smile, and he's like straightening up a little bit off the fence because he's learning so much about the captain right now, about Aiden. Or maybe he thinks he's learning so much about the captain. We'll find out whether or not Aiden lets things be clear next time, but he will push himself off the fence and say, well, as the captain's not currently here and you are, well, you just finished showing off your prowess, and I don't see any of your other teammates around. Have you had any of the ices?
I can't say as I have yet.
I highly suggest them. If you come with me, I'll take you and show you the best ones.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Why not?
Yeah, I think Lawrence is just gonna like jerk his head towards where the ice stand is and just like with a little jaunt in his step that wasn't there previously, walk this mysterious person who seems to be connected to the captain towards the ice place. Say hello to the Italian gentleman again for flavor.
Oh, back again for another one, eh, lad?
Yes, the first one was refreshing. Now I'm here for something a little bit more, well, mentally stimulating. And here's a new friend who would also enjoy something cold and sweet, probably.
Yeah. And I think yeah, Dunn will order a cherry ice.
I think Lawrence, I don't know how much where you envision the scene going, but I imagine that, and like I don't really want to know too much about Aiden without Steven here.
Yeah,
But I imagine that like Lawrence is gonna just like probe Dom for like just the juicy deets about Aiden, and maybe I can offer some token to Steven when next time or something.
Yeah, no,
exactly
that's
what,
cool. Yeah, we can
yeah.
kind of we can touch back on that next time.
Yeah,
If and unless you know we reveal otherwise, yeah, he will be. You know, he's obviously like quite open and friendly with you. He doesn't appear to have any ulterior motives, but you can obviously, like I said, you can obviously tell when he is talking about Aiden. He is keeping some things back, as it were. But yeah. But yeah, I said we can revisit when Steven's back next time to just see if we want to get anything more juicy out of that scene.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's see, is there anyone? I'm wondering if maybe it might be quite nice to see a quick scene between Lewis and Valentine, maybe just after Valentine's encounter. But like I said, if there's any other scenes that people want to do, that's cool. Otherwise, I think we're probably, if not, I think we can probably start looking to wind down this event. But yeah, it might be quite nice just to get a little moment of Brandon and Valentine, of Lewis and Valentine together, if the two of you are up for that, because we've not seen them bounce off one another much yet. So, but other than that, I think I'm cool with where we're at.
Sure.
You've got leaves in your hair.
Sorry?
You've got leaves in your hair.
Oh. Just
been napping?
Sorry?
Been napping on a nice day like today?
Not quite. And he notices he's got a spot of dirt on his hand, and he
you've got
takes out the handkerchief and wipes it off.
You're gonna have a shiner, I say.
You should see the other guy. I bumped into Lionel.
Literally. Literally, and several times from the looks of it.
Yeah. He wouldn't shut up about how they're so good, they're going to crash us. Blah, blah, blah.
Val, you can't keep getting in fights. If you get struck off, we're going to get knocked out of the semifinals.
You don't need me. Got a great team.
We've got a good team, but everybody has to pull together. You know, it's not about any of us. Well, it's not about most of us.
Yeah.
Anyway, people would take it hard if you got warned off. You're a good player. You just have to play. You know, if you want to take it out on them, take it out on them on the pitch. I mean, not literally.
Oh, I wouldn't mind.
That's the way you can show them up, not by scrapping. You know,
he had it coming. How did the
Bernhardt's
go?
Bernhardt's an ass.
Did Laws beat that guy?
Bernhardt's an ass. All right. And he knows how to get under your skin, right? You two have known each other since you were little kids.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, and so it doesn't matter if you had it coming. If it's, if you get thrown out of the game, that'll be cold comfort.
Yeah,
He's going to try to get you thrown out. He always.
Look, I already got a talking to from my brother. That's plenty for one day. Let's just have some fun.
Sure, let's do it. First one to the pond's a rotten egg, says Lewis, and takes off.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
He said, last one to the pond's a rotten egg, he says, and takes off.
Oh, you think you can beat me?
he's already started to run.
Yeah. Valentine's after him. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. So yeah, in which case, unless anyone else has any last scenes I want to do on the day of the fete, we will move. Well, actually, I think what we'll probably do is we'll take a quick break and then move on to the sort of the pre-match scenes. So the way these work is similar to what we've just done. It's still kind of free and open play, essentially. The difference with this is that we can either we will only obviously the scenes themselves will be taking place on the day of the match, in the sort of the morning or whatever before it starts, either while you're preparing for the match or just while you're getting on with stuff beforehand. Each player will get the opportunity to frame one scene, which you can set up as normal. And again, you can kind of interact with whoever you want and so on and so forth in that scene. Like I said, everyone will get an opportunity to frame one scene. If there's no scene you want to have, you can pass. You can also, if you want to, spend a setback token, or a fight token for that matter, but particularly setback token. Again, you can do that in these scenes. So we'll take about a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back. We'll jump into those, and then we'll wrap up once we've finished there, and then we'll give Stephen an opportunity to do his sort of pre-match scene next time, and then get into the match proper. So yeah, like I said, see you all back in about 5 minutes time. So yeah. Oh, also yeah. To answer your question, Maria. Yeah, the setback tokens refresh during upkeep. During upkeep, your setback tokens will go up to 2, regardless of how many you have currently. Fight tokens don't refresh naturally. You only get them sort of from this point on by spending setback tokens, essentially. So it's kind of like, essentially, it's like you get your first fight token for free rather than a setback token, essentially, and then from then on you have to kind of get into that upkeep, as it were, or that cycle. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, that's how those work. Cool. So yeah, sorry, blanked on there for a second. So yeah, as I said, we're going to go into our pre-match scenes now. So as I said, each of you will get an opportunity to frame up one scene. This can either be the scene that you frame up can either involve your main character, or again, it can, if you want, involve your one of your connections, if like the person or people you want to have a scene are interested in doing that. So you can do that as well. With that said, I'm going to ask if anyone has an idea for the sort of scene that they would like to have in the lead up to the match.
Do we know who it is we're
Oh yeah, sorry,
first?
sorry. You are playing Hades
Okay.
first.
Yes, we have to go to hell first.
Indeed.
All right. I'm trying to think which scene I want.
Yeah.
They both involve Anders, so and like, so one of my ideas is possibly Sir, like, is possibly the headmaster, but I don't know if you'll think that Valentine has already had a lot of troubles put on them, and I feel like I would be spending a setback token in this scene possibly. So if that's not something you'd want to see, I can do the other thing. I don't want to beat up on
No.
Valentine too much if you don't want
Well,
that.
Thomas might, might be urging Valentine to, to win at any cost, kind of thing. It's not necessarily taking him to task.
True.
It's like, good on you. Don't let them get away with anything. So that's a possibility.
But that, I think my idea for a scene would be to have one as Sir Tom. Well, he's not really as Sir, because he's not really a knight, we said. He just wants to be called Sir.
Sir is appropriate for any of the masters, right?
Sir has no real name. We don't know Sir's real name. It's just Sir.
Well, or headmaster, right? That's what you call him.
Sir is much more efficient to say. So just use Sir.
Okay, so who would you like Sir to talk to?
Yeah, I think, do we want to like name the scenes first that everyone's interested in, or do we want to just
Yeah,
do
we
them
can
as
we can
have the
do that.
idea?
We can do that if people think they know what they want to do, then we can kind of go through those.
Lewis wants to exhort his brother, of course.
Cool.
They're getting ready for a match.
Yeah, awesome. That sounds good. Anders, any thought for the scene you might like to frame up? Or again, if you there's nothing you do want to that you can also pass, and that's fine.
I think if I think of something, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. That's great. Awesome. So Maria, as you're potentially going to be in both of these scenes. Well, not potentially, but as you're going to be in both of those scenes, I'll let you pick which one you're interested in doing first.
Let's do the scene of Valentine first. I think there's possibly someone that shows up at the dorms, or like, let's see, is this directly before the match, or is this during like the day of
the day of the match? And
okay.
The match is probably like kind of, mid-morning-ish, maybe sort of beginning of the afternoon, but yeah.
So there's probably like a student who is just like, Sir would like to see you in Sir's office. And like nothing in the summons about what it is, which is Sir is a terrible person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Valentine will try to straighten his clothes a bit before going in, not succeeding particularly well. Still being an awkward teenager.
Yeah, and then I think like Sir's office is like the stereotypical lots of wood paneling everywhere. There's probably a trophy case, the like old trophies from the past, and then there's like a huge gap because we haven't won recently. And I think when Valentine walks in, like the headmaster is staring at the trophies with his back to you, and he's very tall and very like spindly. And then you can see him looking at you in the reflection, and he'll just say, "Take a seat, Roberts."
Yes, sir.
So I know a little bit about your past, your hot-headedness, your fire on the pitch. Wicket, shoot. Tell me, how are you feeling about the rest of these matches going forward?
With I know the team will, everyone will certainly do their best.
Yes, the team will do their best, but tell me, will they do their best to the extent that I know that you are capable of doing your best? Will they succeed with no mind to whether something is pretty or
Sir,
elegant?
I'm not sure I follow.
The thing is, Roberts, I know a little bit about, well, I've heard tell of how quick to throw punches you can be. I heard of the dust up at the fete. I know you have some history with these Hades boys.
I'm very sorry about that, sir.
No. There's no need to be sorry, Roberts. I need you to set fire under your team's feet, arms, cricket muscles. I need you to ensure victory for me. I have a bet with the Hades headmaster after all.
I mean, I'm not team captain or anything,
No,
so
you're not. You should be though. That Chambers boy, too kind, too nice, too gentle. But you're one of the old guard. Like one of us older men.
Thank you, sir, but I don't think my my brother, I mean Coach Roberts, sees it quite the same way.
Ah, yes, your brother. I think there's more spine in you than was ever in your brother.
Valentine bristles at that, but he doesn't say anything.
You know what kind of person your brother is. If it weren't for appearances, then perhaps we'd have to let him go. People whisper, you see, about men's courage in the field of battle.
Oof. I mean, if you're going to give me a token, you can give me a token now, and Valentine will not be able to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah, I think the token I want to give as Sir is as the headmaster is that like, and I think maybe, but the complication is basically that like the headmaster wants you to be like hold back nothing on the field and be as violent as your brother doesn't want you to be violent, and like whatever advice Thomas, right, or Timothy has been giving you about like not causing trouble, the headmaster is actually one who wants you to, like, if it needs to happen, he doesn't mind a few broken noses here and there. So I guess the setback is that Valentine has the pressure that Valentine will pretend that cricket is hockey and throw some punches, possibly when there's barely a need for it. I don't know how to say this in a setback way.
Basically,
Go against your own
tell
brother.
Valentine that he has carte blanche to be rough on the pitch.
Yeah. With like possibly the threat that like if things don't go well, then I might be angry enough about your brother too.
Oof. Yeah, that's good. I'll take that.
Okay, take it.
So that's another fight token for me
Yeah,
then.
you have so much fight.
Yeah. So I imagine the way this goes is that Valentine starts to speak up about the headmaster, like talking trash about his brother, insulting him, and Sir takes that as an opportunity to guide Valentine into this way of thinking.
Yeah, he probably like peppers in like more aspersions on like the Robert's name, and then like will liberally praise what he's heard about your particular brand of aggression and maybe, yeah. But I think we want to just fade out on that knowledge, unless there's more that you want to like specifically say.
No, I think that's yeah.
And that's cool. Awesome. No, thank you very much.
Cool.
That was nice. So yeah, I guess we'll have that scene with Lawrence and Lewis. And then yeah, once we're done with that, I'll check in again with you, Brandon. With you, and just if there is anything else you want to frame up, but like I said, feel free to say to either do so or not, as you wish. But yeah, we'll get that scene with Lawrence and Lewis. Feel free to frame this up as you see fit.
I think we're getting up, if that's reasonable.
Yeah.
And so I take off my sweater and I toss it at you.
It's just like, I think that Lawrence is still lying in bed, like possibly Lewis gets up faster. So Lawrence just shoots out and grabs the sweater, and like we'll go around digging in a pile of clothes by the side of his bed, find another sweater that is a different color than the one that you just gave him, and we'll like throw it over with his eyes still closed.
Yeah, I was thinking this is like a cricket sweater, so it's it's the way we're gonna. So they probably look all the same.
Yeah,
but we know that they're different.
Well, one of them is possibly slightly more smelly, but
it's like could have gotten the wrinkles out of it, I say.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't know it's mine. My clothes wrinkle in a very specific way.
They wrinkle just because you keep them in a pile until it's time to pull them out. I'm wondering that the headmaster hasn't cited you for it.
Well, what headmaster doesn't see, headmaster doesn't need to cite me for. No one complained of when you weren't here.
You ready to get out there today?
As ready as I'll ever be. It's
Is that a
just another
yes?
game.
It's not just another game. This is the semifinals. If we lose this one, we're out.
Okay. Well, it's another game with slightly higher stakes.
Look, Laws, you've got a choice to make. If this is just another game, then fine. But is it? You've got real talent. You've got more talent than I do.
Just because I have talent doesn't mean it's what my passion is for. I'm sure there are lots of talented people out there who are doing something completely unrelated to their talent.
Yes, but they're not you. And what would you do instead? What do you want to do instead?
Well, I don't know. I've got quite a lot of time to think about that. It's not like we are graduating immediately and
No, but it's easier. I mean, people do play this for a living, you know.
I do, but I just don't know if that's exactly what I want. I mean, to be honest, Lou,
Yeah.
it's really only started playing the game because it was a thing with people that I liked. And
People.
it's really about the team, and I will do my best, of course, but that's because you're here. And if you weren't here, I'd still do my best if I were on the team, but I wouldn't be on the team if you weren't here. So.
Except that you quit.
I did quit.
But why? What happened?
You know how I have so many different things I am interested in
Oh,
life.
baloney. Or British equivalent.
It's just,
Nonsense. Try pull the other one. You can't. I'm your brother. You can't put that one on me.
well, the thing is, I
What
started.
did someone you know do something? Did somebody discourage you? Did somebody?
No, none of that. It's more, I started slipping up on my own because.
Because what?
You know when pretty things distract you and like there's a little bit of a shiny thing in the distance, and sometimes you pay attention to that more than the
What pretty
batting you
things?
have to do.
What pretty things? Have you taken up gardening?
No, though I wouldn't be opposed to trying out gardening. I'm sure there's some fun to be had in a gardening club. Well, if you insist.
I do.
I think Lawrence is probably sad at this point and is like stuffed his head into the sweater. You have to be very quiet about this. It's not just.
You think
Right.
I'd shop you for anything? Really? Really?
Well, it's a bit of a.
I've taken the blame for you, for goodness sake.
Well, that's
How many
because I
times?
couldn't tell the difference between you and me, and
Yes, but I mean, you remember when we were 12 and you broke that window and I said it was me.
you're the elder one. You should take responsibility for the actions of your younger sibling anyway.
I'm trying to
Okay, then
do that very thing.
it's more than just something that might get me in trouble with family. It's something that could get me in trouble with the whole world, society, at least
You're not-
here.
What, did you cheat on an exam?
It's gonna I think Lawrence is just gonna stand close to Lewis and whisper, well, I've never quite had the same aesthetic appreciation for Miss Thompson as you. What's her name? Thompson?
Well, some people find her intimidating.
Quite.
I mean, you
And-
saw Henry, who can barely speak 2 words in her presence, and just kind of turns red and swallows up whenever she addresses him. It's kind of it's funny. You're not.
Well, I rather think I have the opposite of Henry's problem.
You don't like her.
No, and I
Did she say something to you? She's never been. I mean, she's strict, but she's not mean.
The thing is, listen, I rather prefer people of our gender, and many of those people make up the cricket team. And well, you know how I am not particularly one to work with a focus in mind, and so I had to quit. Can you imagine if you, well, you might imagine this, but can you imagine if you had a thing for Miss Thompson, how badly your performances would go? It was like that, but with cricket.
Well, she does make me nervous as hell during recitals.
Yes. So you understand why I had to quit.
No.
Okay. Well. I'm not
Okay.
gonna-
So this isn't a general thing, is it?
I mean, it's not that I am in love with every boy on the cricket team.
You're in love with someone, or you
Yes,
think you
who?
are.
Of course I'm in love with someone.
Of
Well-
course you are. Except that you kept this from me until this very moment.
Well, I know we are supposed to share everything because we're twins, but I don't know exactly
When you
how-
quit this sport that you're a blessed bloody natural at.
Well,
Yes, of course.
It would only have been a matter of time if I'm so talented as you say I am before someone noticed that I stopped being talented.
Look, you're not. You can't stop being talented. Not you.
You can if every time you try and hit the ball, you worry that someone's watching and you have to look good in front of them.
Oh my God,
I'm not
you are
one who-
moonstruck.
And so what if I am? I'm not one to be able to stuff my feelings into a pocket and leave them there.
Just for the duration of a game.
Well, the game is when people are the most attractive.
Listen to yourself. It's ridiculous.
I am a ridiculous sort of fellow. And it's my part in life to be this brother rather than you, because
Do they feel the same way?
no, I doubt it. I don't know. I've never.
Oh my God, you don't know?
Why would I
Pause.
tell them?
No, you shouldn't.
I wouldn't.
that could be disaster. Oh my God. What if,
Exactly.
especially if they, I mean, if they
And so you see the
went to
trouble.
the headmaster about it, that would be awful. But really? This is why you quit? Because you were mooning over some boy?
Yes. And I suppose you'll want to go back to Saint Osana's or to Shipton now that you know the secret.
Some things you have to decide and stick with. And I decided. Listen, boss. This isn't real. I mean, I'm not saying you don't feel anything, but it's not. You're going to ruin your future over a crush?
Don't understand.
No, I don't. But I do understand that you've got a unique chance here. I mean, a strong school record. People get hired straight out of school. It's a lot harder afterwards to prove yourself. I mean, some of the recruiters want, younger people to join. You could, oh my God, I mean, if somebody told me that I could make a living playing a game,
Then
for
why
God's
don't
sake,
you?
I mean, because I'm not good enough. You
Maybe if you stopped focusing your energy on me and focused it on you, you could be good enough.
Oh, not at cricket. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go for a graduate degree or try to make it playing the piano. I have some talent there. Cricket's, I'm good enough to play in school, but to be a professional, you have to be terrific. And you used to be all about cricket. I remember when remember earlier, back a few years ago, it was cricket, cricket, cricket. You spent every spare moment out there on the pitch practicing with anybody who would bowl to you. How many, I gesture at the shelf. It's like, how many books on cricket do you have? You have a, I remember when you had the possibility of getting a, you have an old, you still have that picture of, W.G. Grace?
Well, that was then. That was
Then.
a long time ago. I'm a whole 2 years older now. And that me hadn't figured things out quite as well.
Look, if you throw yourself back into this, people will forgive you.
I don't need anyone to forgive me.
Do if you're going to play well. I mean, this is these are your teammates. I'm your teammate now. Don't you want to play for me? At least.
I think the entire time Lawrence has just been like stuffing himself into like the cricket kit and like tying shoelaces on very aggressively. And when Lewis says that, He looks up from the aggressive tying of shoelaces and kind of just stares at his twin for a little bit. And then I think like he says something like, just because we're twins doesn't mean we have to do everything for each other. I am just going to play for you because you made the choice to come over here, but you don't get to have a say in whatever I do with my future.
No,
Like start
I-
stomping.
I don't think I. No, I guess I don't.
Slam door. If that works.
Awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. So yeah, and just checking with you. Is there a scene you would like to frame up, or are you good where we are?
Yeah, I'm happy where we are. I think I got what I wanted from that scene with the headmaster. So I'm happy.
Perfect. No, that's cool. Awesome. Then, in which case, we will leave things there for this evening, and we'll pick up next time with our match. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to stop our recording now.